What's good? We back. Possibly good morning. I know what it is. Shout out to everybody that joined our live stream earlier today. Hopefully we can tee it up for another one if I hadn't already did it by the time this video dropped. Talking about Alexander Povetkin and Dillian Whyte. I think it's a good fight. I definitely think the winner of this is worthy of a Deontay Wilder WBC title shot, or if not an Anthony Joshua title shot. Alexander Povetkin, let me say this, got to be smart in the positioning that he in right now. Because I believe he's the mandatory to both of Joshua belts, well, at least two of them, WBO and a WBA belt. So he don't have to take this fight. He's mandated to get his shot, in two sanctioned belt bodies. So he really should be the next fight for Anthony Joshua, unless he unifies with Deontay Wilder in the unification bout with Trump, his mandatory defense. But at the end of the day, guess what? Whoever wins that fight, if it's no rematch, and I believe it won't be a rematch, whoever get knocked out, not gonna want an immediate rematch. How brutal I think that fight might end up. But when you get a 100% sure knockout fight, a lot of times they end up fucking going the distance. So you never know. But I think he can get he can just get the undisputed clash, with whoever the winner of that fight is, if they can guarantee him that fight is next. If they tell him, like, look here, man, you fight Dillian Whyte in June, the winner of y'all get the winner of Wilder, Joshua, and we guarantee that fight, Joshua and Wilder, are going to be next. Okay, I signed a contract to fight Dillian Whyte, and then I get the winner of that next if it's no rematch, And then that's the only reason I take the fight. If not, they can't promise me Wilder and Joshua next. I'm not going to Dillian Whyte fight. I'm going straight for Joshua. And I think Povetkin, I can't say exactly how he looked versus David Price. I did watch the fight. I can't say that he's back because David Price's jaw is so weak. But if he can get back to form like what he once was, because he's a little bit older. I don't know if he's always been on meldonium, because that wasn't a banned drug, at one point. I think they banned on the top of 2016 or 2017. They banned it. Him and Maria Sharapova got popped for it, but yeah, if he can get his physical health back together, at least somewhat what it was, he might fuck around and upset Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, because I don't see Joshua really getting better, and I think Povetkin will know what to do versus Joshua. So that's something to look out for as well. But as far as him and Dillian Whyte, that's a good fight. I think if Dillian Whyte was able to get past Povetkin, he most definitely is in the running for a title shot. That's a legit win over Povetkin. If you ask some people think Povetkin is the best heavyweight out there still. Especially after how he looks versus David Price, which I won't put much stock into it, because I heard his last two fights, he don't look like he was punching as hard. Or his last fight after he came off of being clean and paying the $500K to WC, I heard he didn't look as strong or what he used to look like, before he was on the PED. So I have to go back and watch those fights physically, but that's what I heard. But if he can get back to physical health and get back to the strong and the Povetkin that we know, I wouldn't be surprised if he beat anybody in this division. Truthfully, honestly, I mean, he's a hell of a fighter. We don't know how clean he was, but who the fuck knows, But Dillian Whyte, if he's able to make an example out of Povetkin and beat Povetkin, especially impressively or knockout, I mean, shit, they can't tell him shit. There's no more of us saying that he ain't earned a Wilder fight or he ain't good enough. Shit, he proved that he good enough because he beat a top 5 heavyweight in some people's opinion, and that's a legit win. He deserved his rematch with Joshua. He deserved the Wilder fight, or the winner of that fight if it goes down. But if I'm Povetkin and they can assure me that Wilder and Joshua is next, I take the Whyte fight in June, or maybe I ask for that fight to be on the undercard, so I can get that exposure and they can see me neck and neck and neck with those guys. So as far as this fight, I probably favor Povetkin, But Whyte did look good versus Brown, but he had a dancing partner that made him look good, And Povetkin is a 1 billion times better fighter than Brown off or on or off the pad. So this is a fight that Whyte has to look good in and do good in. He already opened the fight. He just has this imaginary thing where you think Wilder is ducking him. It's business, And they've been trying to get him to be Anthony Joshua's hitman for quite some time. So Wilder already know the play. He a little, he know the secret. He not gonna go over to the UK, especially how that ref was, how fishy shit been going on over there. And a lot of people don't want to come to America, how fishy and shitty some of these refs, especially when you go to Texas. So this ain't shit that just a UK problem. This is shit that's a universal problem. You know what I'm saying? But this would be a hell of a fight. This is a fight that I would be interested in. I was interested in Povetkin and Price. I wasn't interested in Brown and Dillian Whyte. Just because I didn't know shit about Brown and he was trash, garbage, waste management, boo boo on fire. But it's a fight I'm interested in. It's a fight that HBO, if they gonna pick up, Brown and Whyte, they gotta pick up Povetkin and Whyte. It's a fight that I just clear my afternoon and give me some snacks and watch and sit down and be entertained, because legitimately it's a good fight. You know, UK or if it's in Moscow, the money is in Moscow or over there in Russia for Whyte. But I don't know if he's willing to go over there. But that's where the money gonna be at. But then Eddie Hearn can show you the money. You know, he can make shit happen. And Whyte is somewhat of a pull over there. Whyte is a good pull. So Povetkin got his exposure over there, and they already got a chance to see these guys in back-to-back weeks fight. So this fight is gonna market itself, and Eddie Hearn gonna finesse it and do what he do and put this fight on the pedestal. And it's up to them to make the shit make people a believer. This shit can probably be a trilogy. Real talk. You know, if Whyte come to fight and he come at his best, because before the Joshua fight he was looking good, and during the Joshua fight he was doing good, but after the fight, he just never looked the same after the shoulder injury. So it's up to him. I know Povetkin gonna come to fight because he at the end of his career. He was 36, 37 years old. He about to make his final push, his final hurrah, and he won all the belts. And now with Klitschko out the way, he feel like he can do it. So let me know what y'all think. TBC and more. We out.